Hey folks, today we are talking about Gears Eday. The last video we did talking about Gears Eday did really well. There was definitely some kind of, what I believed, some evidence pointing into the fact that Xbox had this identity crisis, and I feel like Eday's scope could be massively changed, or the game could even be cancelled in the direction that, they originally thought they were going to take it. A lot of people really enjoyed that video. It had over 100 likes, loads of comments. I think nearly 100 comments, and a lot of it was aimed at TC. A lot of it was aimed at, what can they do, what can't they do. But I was coming at it from a perspective of Xbox. Like, what are Xbox doing? Because we spoke about it and we said, listen, I think Xbox is not a system seller. It's not even a games maker or seller. They're like a producer, a publisher of games. Well, today we've had some big news. This comes from Bellular News, a reputable source, because this is from Bloomberg. So we're not making this up. This is from Bloomberg. And the video we're looking at today, if I shrink this down, is a video here called Xbox is Over. Now we know who is responsible. Now, you can see here in October 23rd, 2025, Microsoft Corporation, and this is the big thing here that I want you to think about, and I want you to think about how this relates to Eday. Microsoft Corporation is asking its Xbox gaming division, because remember, people like to think of them like toe-to-toe, but Microsoft is this enormous brand, and the gaming section is just a small part, so it's like just referred to as its gaming division, is expected to produce 30% accountability margins, a term Microsoft uses in lieu of profit margins, according to people familiar with the business. Okay, now, what does that mean? That means not 30% over its lifespan. That doesn't mean, hey, you make Gears Reloaded, and at the beginning, because Gears 5 and Gears maybe 4 wasn't as well received as maybe they desired, and there was a bit of, let's be honest, Reloaded wasn't that great either, that we're going to start off steady, we're going to really win the customer over, we're going to give them lots of stuff, lots of content, lots of this, lots of that, and then over its lifespan, we're going to make it profitable. We're going to start adding skins, expansions, no. They're saying that when your game comes out within the first year, you need 30% profit. Xbox previously had a 12% profit in 2022. So we know that Gears Eday has been designed over a few years now, but there's an entirely different team saying, hey, listen, your product, you actually have accountability, meaning your game has to be profitable. Now, there's two ways to look at this. There's one way to say, oh, this is great, because now the devs have to make profit, which means they're going to have to make a good game because they're going to have to sell it. Or they go, right, what can we do to this game right now to make it profitable? How can we basically extort our customers and make them give us as much money as humanly possible in the short term? Which doesn't mean gameplay, doesn't mean good game. It means we're profit, we're business. This is what we really truly are. And like I said in my previous video, all of the troubles, which you can check down below, I just clicked the video, I'm actually wearing the same shirt 6 days later. That's a coincidence. And we'll get more into this video because it's very interesting. Now, I want you to all know, all Gears Reloaded and Eday fans, that tomorrow, on Friday, I'm going to be releasing my final montage. It's really important to me. It's kind of probably going to be my last one. I've gotten old. I don't play as competitively as I used to, and I don't really play many multiplayer games anymore. And I really tried to make it fun and interesting and enjoyable and nostalgic. It obviously features a ton of music that can't be, legislated for, so it'll probably be copyright. There'll probably be some awkward ads stuck in there that I can't control. But this video is entirely for you, created for you, and I really hope on Friday you show it some support, and I'd really love to get 100 likes on it. Now, back to the video. Let's shrink down and let's look at why this is so important and about Eday, because this needs to relate to Eday for you. So, we flick through the video, and this is a great video, by the way. But basically, they have this interview, right? The Bobby Kotick story. And what they're basically saying, guys, is this, and this is the massively important thing for you to know. They're looking at their, was it $70 billion acquisition of Activision. And Microsoft, rather than saying this is fantastic, this is for gamers, this is brilliant, they're going, I don't know if that was the right move. I think we should have put $70 billion into AI. That's the truth. You can watch the video. And we are trying to become mega profitable. These are some layoffs. We have had Halo, Blizzard, Turn 10, and Bethesda, ZeniMax, King, Raven Software. These are all layoffs. Big cuts are happening. Studios are getting chopped and changed around. This year, this is the year that Eday's been made. So you might think to yourself, Eday is doing no marketing. Maybe they're thinking, we can't fucking spend a lot of money on marketing because we're not going to be profitable. We can't afford to do that. This is the thing. It says, over the past 2 years, executives at the Seattle-based software giant have set an across-the-board goal of 30% of these accountability margins. The new target was implemented in 2023. So Eday hits this, and they've been told, it's not about making a fantastic game. It's not about making the Gears game everybody wants. You need to hit profits. And when they took over Activision, right? What was Activision? They had a 30% profit margin. They acquired this and they went, so Call of Duty can have a 30% profit margin. Why can't you? So yes, it's basically, is it good news? Is it bad news? I think it's bad news. I'll be real with you. In the past, games makers at Xbox were not asked to hit specific numerical targets and were largely told to make the best games possible. That means the people that worked on Xbox, your Gears 1s, your Gears 2s, your Gears 3s, your Halos, they were told, listen, if you make an amazing game, people will want to buy our Xbox and our peripherals and this and that. This is where I was going with it. Nowadays, your E-Days, your failed Halos, you know, that bloody Concord game, right? These games that are failing, they've been told to become profitable now. Forget the game. How do you become profitable? Why? Because they're not selling Xboxes the way they used to. They're not making third-party handhelds. They're giving it to Asus ROG, and Asus ROG are making it, and they're sticking their logo on it. Like I said in my last video, Xbox has totally changed. Somebody said in my comments section the other day, I'm sat playing on a Sony television, and I'm using the cloud to stream an Xbox game to it that used to be exclusive to Xbox, and it's now on PlayStation, and it's like, you don't even need the Xbox to play the Xbox game. So it doesn't really matter if your game is massive and amazing, because they're not going to sell an Xbox. Like, even if Gears, right, think about this, even if Gears Eday is incredible, it doesn't help you sell an Xbox because it's also on PlayStation, it's also on PC. So they're now looking at these profit margins. It's, yeah. You know, we take a look at this. Nintendo, I think, had a 22%. Had a 22% like kind of profit margin. PlayStation have an 8% profit margin. There was 9% in 2024. So PlayStation actually looking at like, hey, we're going to make less profit, maybe more games. The Xbox side of things are just saying, listen, lads, like this, you know, Perfect Dark, Project Blackbird, Everwild, they're cancelling these games because they're costly and they don't think they can make that 30%. So they're cutting costs and boosting profits. So we're looking at Eday, and maybe 2 years of Gears 5 happens and they're like, right, what can we do? Let's make Eday. Now all of a sudden these new people are coming in 2020, early 2023, and they're saying, hey TC, hey game developers, we need you you have a, what was the literal terminology here? A 30% margin that you basically have to hit. It's an accountability margin. You've got to hit this or you will be accountable. Now, in normal world, that would be good because there's lots of different, say, mobile phone companies making mobile phones. They want to make a better phone so they can sell the phone, and as a result you end up with a better product. We know how gaming is. There's even a screenshot here in the video of Xbox and their third-party handheld that isn't, and then you've got these other games. You've got Gears in there, you've got Call of Duty. But we know, like back in the day, it would be like, let's make Gears Eday as good as possible so we can sell it onto the Xbox handheld. The Xbox handheld only can play Xbox games. So if you want to play Eday, you're buying an Asus ROG thing that just happens to have an Xbox logo on it that is playing non-exclusive games. Yeah. So it says, for the first time since 2020, Microsoft's Xbox gaming division has surpassed an Xbox performance goal that impacts the compensation of the CEO. The Xbox goal was one of 4 core metrics impacting tens of millions of dollars potentially awarded to the CEO. The Xbox target for this year called for more than 14% annual growth. What does this mean for your gaming, guys? Do you think Xbox are sat here saying to like TC in the office, and they're all like colluding together, and they're all like popping into the office, and they're like, "Hey, you think we should like make the shotgun gameplay more exciting? You think we should make it big open world?" He's thinking, "I need you to hit profit goals so I can get my bonus." This is not good. In 2023, Microsoft completed its $69 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard, the largest in gaming history. The shopping spree has led to increased scrutiny because basically they looked at this and went, we've spent all of this money that we could have dumped into lots of other businesses that are making money. AI was going to explode. We could have put the money into AI. And also now that we've acquired this and we can see all of the financials, wow, Activision with Bobby Kotick, we're making a hell of a lot of money because Call of Duty became just a finely tuned money-making machine if you even look at Call of Duty and how it monetizes itself. But do you look at Call of Duty and think the game's been getting better and better and better? No, but it's been making more and more money. So you look to Eday, and yeah, obviously they could make a fantastic game that makes a lot of money. But your head up, your office, the guy above you that fires you, right? Let's be real about this. If somebody like me in Gears 5 days talks to the Gears 5 developers and the boss is not really bothered how much profit the company's making, and they're like, all right, how can we appease the community? Let's make a really good game. Let's maybe I make a good game and then I get hired by another studio, right? Whatever. Nowadays, it's kind of like, okay, the fans are grumpy, but I don't really care because I've been employed as a game developer, and the guy above me needs a 15% this year so he can pay his CEO bonus, and we've got an accountability bonus of 30% profit. So I don't actually care if this pisses off the fan. We're going to put the skin in the game. We're going to do this egregious monetization. We're going to make the game more and more grindy so you have to buy a pack or whatever. Now, obviously, it could go the other way, and they could make an amazing game that makes big profits. That's what we all hope for, right? But I'm just putting it out there, and this is not nonsense. This is literally Bloomberg. That Xbox over the last few years has totally changed its direction, and they're not trying to make good games. They're trying to make money. That's what they're trying to do. So I'll leave that with you. Let me know what you thought about this video. And again, shout out to Belula News for this fantastic video that we are discussing. I'll link to the original in the description. And remember, tomorrow is going to be my Gears Reloaded montage, and I would love to see 100 likes on the video. It would mean the world to me. So if you've enjoyed my content over the last 20 years of gaming, even if you're not that keen on montages, or you're not that excited, or you're not that interested, if you could leave a comment on it and a like, it would just help me immensely. And I just as a thank you for all of the years of free videos I've made, because I don't have a 30% profit accountability margin. I do this for free and for fun. So thank you.